Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 10 of the WBE, the Minnesota Vikavolts are taking on the London Bisharps and Coach Randolph in an epic week 10 showdown. Now you guys might have not seen a team builder this week, and that's because there is no team builder this week. I decided to skip it. We're going to talk about the team very quickly in this little intro here. And this is the final week of the regular season. I have some good news for you guys though. I have indeed clinched playoffs based on the way the season breaks out and the way the differentials work. Regardless of the outcome of this battle, I am indeed clinched for playoffs. We're good to go. This battle does not impact whether we make it or not. It does impact our standings obviously, but that's, in my opinion, less of a concern. The big focus is always getting to playoffs. I'll be real, if you can't tell, if you haven't seen the videos, I'm in a new office, I'm in a new house, things are crazy. I've been so busy lately, and unfortunately I did not have as much time as I would have liked to prepare this team. I'm not making excuses, it's just life, man. Sometimes life happens and you just gotta focus on other things. But I do appreciate your support, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the content, and hit that like button as always, and get excited for playoffs next week. But hopefully I'll give you a good match to watch this week against Randolph, who's an awesome creator himself. So let me just run through the team real quick. I'll just tell you guys, he has G-Max, Hatterene, Dragapult, Terrakion, Volcarona, Magnezone, Slowbro, Kanto, Marowak, Vaporeon, Delibird, Noctowl, Thwackey. Big threats, obviously Choice Scarf, Terrakion, Dragapult's a threat. G-Max Smite from Hatterene's very annoying. Volcarona can redirect with Rage Powder. You know, Slowbro, Vaporeon, very annoying. Bulky Waters. And then Thwackey is pretty annoying too, not to understate some of the other Pokemon as well. Pretty sure Randolph's out of contention at this point. I don't think he can make the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. So I'm not sure what to expect, but let's talk about our team super quickly. I'm bringing an offensive Sand Slash, basically ready to outspeed Dragapult in Hail. Hit very hard. I've got Rock Slide there for Volcarona. I've got Disco, which is a defensive. Togekiss with the Charty Berry, which is going to take those rock type moves from Terrakion a little bit better, redirect some attacks, and I've got Serene Grace for those air slash flinches. Terra's rocking that room service, so under the Trick Room condition, I'm actually going to be slower than Hatterene, which is very nice, and I have the Max Steel Spike for that. I'm also carrying Horn Drill, because why not? I don't know, I'm feeling a little fancy this week. Bringing the Weakness Policy Rotom this week as well, something I wanted to bring, haven't brought it this season. Kind of the strategy is set up Hail, get Aurora Veil up, and then hopefully win with Weakness Policy Rotom. And then I've got you know, standard Bronzong here with bringing Ally Switch again, hopefully we don't click it, and then Hypnosis, and then just a pretty standard Focus Sash Ninetales with Aurora Veil, Icy Wind, Blizzard, Freeze Dry. Thwackey could be a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like, how do you bring Thwackey when I have, you know, all the Hail Pokemon? But we'll see. Either way, let me get connected with Randolph. We're gonna throw down. I'm gonna chug this G Fuel. I've had, like I said, a crazy morning today, so I'm gonna enjoy this Nemesis T G Fuel. I'm gonna get connected to Randolph. We're gonna throw down for week 10. Hopefully pick up a W. Let's do it. All right, so we're connected here with Randolph. Let's see what 60's gonna be bringing, baby. First standing battle, by the way. Okay, he brought Thwackey. I didn't want to see Thwackey. No Hatterene though. Okay, I'm happy about that. All right, so we got Vaporeon. No Terrakion, Magnezone. He brought all sorts of stuff that I thought. Dragapult, Magnezone, Volcarona, and Thwackey. So Thwackey is like one of the things that I didn't want to see. All right, so Thwackey, Volcarona, Slowbro. I got Magnezone twice. All right, word. I mean, my strategy, guys, like in this match, and I feel like I stick with it, is really just Hail. Like Hail, I feel like is really good here. Get up Aurora Veil and then do work, right? So I'm just gonna lead Sand Slash. Actually, I'm gonna lead Ninetales, Sand Slash, and then Rotom. Like, Rotom kind of beats a lot of his stuff, right? And then maybe just Rhyperior in case of Trick Room. Because Rhyperior looks pretty good too, in some ways. Or do I want Togekiss? I think I'm gonna take Rhyperior for game 1. Although Togekiss is quite nice too, to redirect attacks later on. Yeah, let's do Togekiss for game 1. Yeah, that's good. That's what we were planning, so let's do it. Really surprised no Hatterene. G-Max Smite was something that I was very concerned about. So basically our strategy here is just get Veil up hopefully, and then you know, do some things. The thing is, if he leads Thwackey, I actually can't stop Fake Out on Protect on Ninetales. But is Thwackey really gonna sit there and try to Fake Out when I have a Sand Slash in front of it? I don't know. I feel like Thwackey's such a weird bring here, but he does Dragapult, Volcarona. Okay, so I had a feeling this is gonna be a strategy of his. He was gonna try to utilize Volcarona to redirect away. For me, I mean, even if he maxes, I think I just Rock Slide and Aurora Veil, because for me, like, my best way to do this is really to utilize Rotom in the back, right? So I'm gonna click Aurora Veil and I'm just gonna Rock Slide. Now, does Dragapult get Sunny Day, dude? Is he gonna click Sunny Day right now? If he's Sunny Day Heat Waves, bro, like, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Does it get Sunny Day? I don't see it. Sunny Day, Rain Dance. It doesn't get Rain Dance or Sunny Day, so I don't think that that's a thing. So I think we do just Rock Slide and Aurora Veil. I'm gonna click it. If he wrecks me, then he wrecks me. I feel like he Rage Powders and then just like Dynamax as an attack. Oh, he could Max Flare though? Oh, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't Rage Powder at all. Okay, Rock Slide then. And I knock out Volcarona. That's a beautiful start. So Sand Slash, KOs, Volcarona with Rock Slide. That was a good start for me. And U-turn. Okay. That was about it. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. That was about as good of a start as I could have asked for, actually. Okay. Now I get Veil up. I mean, how does he stop that? He might go Trick Room now. That's the thing about this team is it's like, it's kind of designed to deal with Trick Room too. With Rotom just being like really bulky. I'm really surprised that he just like Volcarona just straight up died. So Volcarona is not Sash. It tells me he doesn't have a Sash on his team then. Because, well, it makes sense. Like, running Sash against a Hail team is very, very hard to do. Which is so weird that, like, I think it was last week we lost to Sash Bisharp. So Vaporeon, okay. So Vaporeon and Dragapult are in the back. I'll get Veil up, that's fine. Now, obviously, Vaporeon's a threat because it can just sit there and just be annoying. But that's why Rotom is so good in this matchup. He's going to take Hail damage as well. Okay. And then he's either sending out Dragapult or he's sending out, I don't know, whatever the last is. Could be Slowbro. Like, Vaporeon, I feel like in this matchup, it's going to either... I guess it could be a Dynamax candidate, but I'm not as concerned about it being a Dynamax candidate because it's just like water or ice, really. I think it's Shadow Ball too, but it doesn't have a ton of coverage. So, I'm just really surprised about that turn one, dude. Like, that was a really good turn one. It's going to be Dragapult. Okay, so then in this scenario, I triple Axle the Dragapult because we know we're faster, right? And I just Freeze Dry the Vaporeon. And he could Dynamax, but like, I'm not really that concerned about it. I could also Blizzard too, just to get damage off. I am a little concerned of him being Dynamax Dragapult here. But do you Dynamax Dragapult and then take a triple Axle to the face anyway? I mean, it's still gonna do a lot. It's just a question of like, am I better off Blizzarding here and just like understanding I'm not gonna hit the Vaporeon as hard? Like if he Dynamax, I'm still hitting him for like a pretty sizable chunk of damage. So yeah, I'm gonna just triple Axle Freeze Dry. Let's see what happens. I mean, he's got to Dynamax something. He's gonna Dynamax the Dragapult, I think. I guess it could be the Vaporeon. Maybe Blizzard was the play. It's the Dragapult. But yeah, I'm still gonna hit him with a triple Axle here. Like, triple Axle's still gonna do a lot of damage. Like, it still should get a KO here. I mean, what do we... Alright, let's see. If I hit 3, then we're good. Sweetness Policy. Yeah, so Sweetness Policy Pult. But if I hit 3, we're good. If I hit 3, we're good. I didn't hit 3, did I? Should've Blizzard, dude. Should've Blizzard, dude. Ah, it's so annoying. That's alright. He's gonna go after Ninetales anyway, so... Does he yawn? Dragapult. KOs Ninetales with Phantasm. What is this, Rain Dance? Yawn. Okay. So we see Yawn. We see Ghost. We don't know what the Phantasm was. He takes hail damage, which is good. And, here's the thing. I mean, he's gonna knock himself out to hail eventually anyway, right? Like, what's my play here? Do I just go Togekiss and redirect him towards Togekiss for now and let him knock himself out with hail and utilize Sand Slash? No, Sand Slash is still faster. He has to... I think I just go Rotom. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rotom here. He has to protect the Dragapult to really do anything at this point. And I can set Terrain right now and stop the Yawn too. Yeah, that's great. Let's do that. Let's Max Lightning the Vaporeon. And let's Iron Head the Dragapult. In case... Yeah, because I'm going to set Electric Terrain and then I won't fall asleep anyway, right? So let's do that. That seems like a good bet. He might protect the Dragapult, but then I'm still getting a Max Lightning off on the Vaporeon anyway. And if he lives it, his best bet is to Yawn the Rotom anyway. So this isn't the worst scenario. And since he Phantasmed and didn't fly, like, I'm still faster. So he made the right choice going after Ninetales there for sure. That was definitely the right play on his part. Is he Max Guard? I'm gonna find out. I mean, I'm assuming in that first turn he thought I was gonna Max Sand Slash. I feel pretty good at this moment in the game, but we're not out of it yet. I mean, Rotom looks really good against this team. Like, Rotom actually kind of runs a lot of this team down once I get rid of Volcarona. So, let's see what he does. Does he protect? He does max guard, so he does make the right play there, but again, I won't fall asleep this time. Iron Head isn't gonna do anything. And I'm gonna get a max special attack, modest, max lightning off into Vaporeon. I really, unless he's specially defensive, I don't think he lives this. Oh, he does live it. But I set terrain, so now he basically has to yawn Rotom here. Let's see if he does it. What is that, a berry? Super berry? Citrus? Yeah, it says super berry, so wiki. He's gonna muddy water. It's not really a concern though. No accuracy drops. Hail hits the Dragapult. Hail hits the Vaporeon, so he's gonna live those moves, but electric terrain protects Sand Slash, so we're good. Now I think what I do is, I think I just lightning again into the Vaporeon, right? I could darkness the Vaporeon actually. That might be the better play, is I darkness. If I max darkness, it's not gonna do enough though. Yeah, it's not gonna do enough. I have to max lightning that slot, and then I just Iron Head the Dragapult. Same strategy, I still have Hail. So same bet here. Iron Head comes off, that's good. So Slash KOs Pult with Iron Head. That's good. And then Rotom KOs Vaporeon with Max Lightning. Okay, so that was exactly how we wanted that start to go, and I still have Veil up, so this is really this is exactly what we wanted, really. This is what we wanted. Probably didn't expect Rock Slide turn 1, I guess. So Rotom and Slash doing what they do, and this is, you know, when I picked up Rotom, this is what I envisioned out of the team, is like a really offensive Hail team. I haven't been able to utilize it the way I wanted to, aside from maybe a game or two this season, but this is a lot of what I envisioned. It's Slowbro last, okay. So, Slowbro's a problem, right? Like, that's a problem for sure, but this is why we have Max Lightning. I'm almost wondering if I Max Darkness, though, instead. I think we just Lightning, right? Just for the special defense drop, but... and then I think in terms of other moves, I think like Rock Slide's pretty solid here on a chance to flinch. So let's do that. He may have max guard. Or just protect in general. Alright, so Rock Slide gives me a 30% chance to flinch him here. So it's just a little bit of damage. And I did about 25%. I actually want to calc that. Maybe get some insight. Is this offensive Slowbro? Yeah, it's offensive Slowbro, 100%. He's definitely not defensive. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, good. Good start for us. Rotom KOs Slowbro with Max Lightning. Okay, so that game went pretty much exactly as I wanted it to. You know, the not hitting the 3 triple axles was a bit annoying, but everything else worked out exactly as we wanted to, so that's a good start to this match for us. The question is, I'll be real, I did not, under any circumstances, prepare for what a second mode of this team looks like. I just kind of was like, I'm just gonna do the same thing, but he never saw my weakness policy, which is good, right? So, I kind of feel like the same strategy is really solid here, right? I kind of feel like that same strategy is really solid, but it leads me to believe that there's a good chance that Thwackey comes in that scenario. The thing is, if I don't have Protect on Ninetales, which makes my life a wee bit trickier. It does make my life a wee bit trickier, because if he leads Thwackey, I'm in a little bit of trouble in that regard. So I'm wondering if like Sand Slash Togekiss is a good lead instead. And then switching to Ninetales, but I don't think that's the play. I think either way, like, Ninetales Rotom in the back is really strong if I can get up Aurora Veil. I'm feeling like the Thwackey lead is like pretty likely here though. Togekiss. Togekiss Rotom is kind of cool too. And just like go for the Dynamax early game and keep Sand Slash in the back as a way to win in the back. Doesn't do as well against the Volcarona lead though. Like, what is he doing to stop this lead? Like, Ninetales Sand... I'm just gonna run it again. I'm gonna run it again. Yeah, I'm gonna run it again. Sand Slash. I think I just run the same team out there. Like, he can stack the water types out there with Thwackey, but like, aside from that, I'm still in a scenario where, you know, I mean, I could see the Madness Zone leading too, potentially. But then that's where Hail comes in. He'd have to be Scarf Zone. Show me how you beat it, I guess. He's still thinking. Yeah, I mean, his team doesn't really, it's not like super conducive for me trying to go Trick Room against him. So I feel like if I'm him, I go Thwackey Slowbro here. And try to set Trick Room maybe. But Thwackey Slowbro is like, that Rotom eats that up if I get Veil up. So it's like, who do you fake out? It's gonna be Pult Volcarona. He does the same thing. Okay. Well, we know it's weakness policy Pult. I mean, I'm gonna just do the same thing. I'm gonna set up Veil. I want to get rid of the Volcarona. If I get Veil up, I feel confident in that. I'm gonna click Aurora Veil, and I'm gonna click Rock Slide again. I don't really see why I do anything other than that. He really went with the same lead. Yeah, I mean, we just one-shot the Volcarona last time. Do you save it this time? Do you Rage Powder? Like, he switches out the Pult and goes Magnezone, so he's gonna trap me, but that's fine, because I'm gonna get the chip I want on the Magnezone, and he's gonna max it this time. Volcarona, Magnezone, Dragapult. The reality of it is, though, like, I'm not super I mean, if I get Veil up, I'm less concerned. Because I'm still hitting a Rock Slide here, which is gonna do over half. I mean, we're gonna really hit this Volcarona super hard right now. And he's gonna Max Flare and knock me out, but yeah, I mean, we just did 80%. And I'm gonna get Veil up. And he's gonna knock out Sand Slash right now, right? Like, he's gonna definitely go for Max Flare, knock out Sand Slash. But my strategy really doesn't stress about that too much. Here comes the Flare. And a Sand Slash, okay. Volcarona KOs Sand Slash with Max Flare. Okay, that's fine. So now, I obviously cannot control the weather any further at this point. I can go Rotom though. I think Rotom's really strong here under Veil. I mean, I'm gonna take more damage than I normally would, simply on the fact of the annoyance that is Volcarona. But here's the thing: if he's not max, okay, this is where I did kind of not really prepare the best, but 152 times 0.67, so 101. And what is my Rotom speed? 107. So if he's modest max, I actually would outspeed. So I do think that the Icy Wind play isn't bad here. And the Icy Wind play isn't bad. And then I think we just max and we go for max Darkness into the Volcarona. I think is my best bet. And just hope that the Icy Wind allows me to outspeed the Volcarona with the Rotom. I think it's my best bet here. If he's timid max speed, which I feel like he would be, I'm not gonna outspeed him. But I feel like this is the play. Max Darkness will pick up the Volcarona here. And then, you know, if I do outspeed, if he's modest, we're good. But if he's timid, I'm not gonna outspeed. So it's just a matter of which one is he. Let's see. And that's gonna ensure that we'll outspeed the Magnezone stuff too. Is the Volcarona timid or modest? He could be a bulky one. I'm faster. Ooh, that was good. I should knock him out. Yeah, okay. Rotom KOs Volcarona with max Darkness. That's good. It's a good one. Puts me in a good spot. I mean, I don't really like the fact that, you know, and here comes the Flash Cannon and then Ninetales. Okay. That's A-okay with me though. I'm Sash. Like, I'm not concerned about that. Like, that's why we Sash. And he's Life Orb too. Okay, good. I have Kiss in the back. So I need to get rid of Magnezone. I need to get rid of Magnezone right now. I do have Kiss in the back. So objective now is get rid of Magnezone. That's definitely the objective here. Because once, I don't care if Ninetales goes down at this point, right? Like, Ninetales going down is pretty insignificant. We're gonna freeze dry Dragapult when it comes out, assuming it's Dragapult. We could see a Trick Room setter coming out on the field, but the problem is, like, Trick Room in this scenario isn't super good against me. It's gonna be Dragapult. Okay, so then in this scenario, I do feel comfortable going for a freeze dry into the Dragapult slot. Because I do have Veil up. He's gonna have to go after Ninetales or he's gonna take a big hit here. And then I think in terms of Rotom, I do think Rotom's best scenario is it goes after the Magnezone with Max Lightning, or Max Darkness rather. And Magnezone's sitting at -1 special defense, so I should be able to pick up that KO there as well. And if the Dragapult targets the Rotom, then I'm definitely picking up the Magnezone. So that seems like my best bet. He's gonna protect the Magnezone. That was a good play. That was the right play. That was definitely the right play. And he's gonna Phantom Force the Dragapult. Very good play, okay. But I still get a Max Darkness off, so Still gonna drop the special defense to this thing. That's gonna make it so I can definitely knock him out now. There's an offensive mana zone too. I have Togekiss in the back, so I could beat the Dragapult. I think I still max Darkness. Because I feel like his last is probably Slowbro anyway, so like what's gonna want to take a max Darkness here? So I will, do I want to save Ninetales here? Is there any reason to save Ninetales here at this point? I don't think there is. I really don't think there is. I think the Freeze Dry play into the Dragapult slot for chip damage, and then the max Darkness into the Mana Zone is the proper play here. Because if he Phantom Forces me, it's like gonna do very insignificant amount of damage. It's gonna take out the Ninetales there, so Dragapult KOs Ninetales with Phantom Force. And now I'm gonna just max Darkness, and we'll get rid of the Mana Zone. So Rotom KOs Mana Zone with max Darkness. Okay, now it's Togekiss against the world here. Well, Togekiss Rotom against the world. And I mean, I think I still have another, like, one more turn of Veil. The Phantom Force is definitely a good bet. We'll see what his last is. I never got my Hail up, which is kind of annoying. It's Slowbro, okay. So, I mean, to me, I just go after the Slowbro. Because he's gonna, if he Phantom Forces, I can't do anything anyway. So, to me, it's like, let's get rid of that Slowbro. So let's Air Slash the Slowbro. And I think I just Thunderbolt the Slowbro. Get myself in a 2v1. I don't want to put myself in a situation where he's gonna Phantom Force and then I go attack the Dragapult and just straight up miss. That seems really dumb to me, right? So if I Air Slash the Slowbro and Thunderbolt the Slowbro, we put ourselves in a solid situation. Maybe I should have Dark Pulse for the flinch, but yeah, he's gonna fly. So he did have fly. Okay, not really sure what he's gonna fly into, but that's fine. And I get a T-Bolt off. It's gonna do big damage. We assume this is an offensive Slowbro. Yeah. And then Air Slash should pick up the KO, but I missed. So he's got a Berry too. I think he's got a Berry in this game. That's a Super Berry too. Jeez, what is that? Aguav? All right, well, 60% chance to flinch if I don't get the KO. I'm very defensive, so he gets a Scald off. All right. And he goes in a Kiss, but it's in no burn. Yeah, it's in Sun, so it's pretty insignificant damage here. Okay, then in this scenario, I do lose my Veil, but I think I just D-Gleam and Dark Pulse the Dragapult. And I feel like that's a good scenario to be in. Because he's gonna fly into Kiss, but it's not gonna do that much. That's the thing about Dragapult. It's so good when it gets a weakness policy off, but aside of that, it can actually be a little bit lackluster. And Rotom just picks it up right there. Is it a crit? Nah, Rotom's just a beast, dude. Rotom KOs Dragapult with Dark Pulse. And Togekiss KOs Slowbro with D-Gleam. Nice. We'll take a nice 2-0 there and take down Randolph in our Week 10 showdown. So GG's to Randolph. If you guys want to check out his channel, you can check it out in the description below. Shouts to the first ever standing WBE battle for me. And this season, admittedly, guys, like I said, it's been a little bit of a rocky season for me. Hasn't been the best of seasons. Simply because, you know, I've just been really busy, you know, transitioning and moving and all that stuff it's been really hectic. But what I'll do is we'll actually, a lot of people don't like me to spoil the results of the match. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes here at the end, just kind of about the team and how this season went down. And we do have playoffs next week. So I'm going to just talk for a few minutes about kind of some of that stuff. When I look at kind of the team that we have, I'm going to go grab my team here. Let me hit him with a GG, man. When I look at kind of our team and our ranking and everything like that, overall, I mean, we're gonna finish the season at 6-4, right? 6-4. To me, that was very much so a 7-3. I know it's 6-4, but I look back on the game against K-Cray and the misclick, and like to me, I felt with, and this is nothing to do with K-Cray, I felt like I had the game in the bag, and I legitimately misclicked. Clicked the wrong button, didn't pay attention, whatever. It's my fault. I take the loss, like it is what it is. But I'm just saying, like in reflection, I felt like that was a game that we definitely could have won. And then when I look back at the other losses in this season, without, again, taking away anything from my opponents, I feel like all those games were super winnable games, right? When I look back at the last game we just lost against Sierra, I think, obviously I got lucky in game 1, but in game 2, I think if I doubled down on my opponent's Blastoise, I could win the game. Against Wolf in week 1, I think that was a winnable game. And then who else did I lose to? I lost to, I don't even remember who I lost to. Oh, K-Cray, I mentioned K-Cray. Oh, and Duncan. The game against Duncan was a phenomenal matchup. came down to a 50-50 pretty much the last game of what he was going to fake out and what he was going to target. In terms of reflecting on the team and how they did, Blastoise finished the season at 4-4. 4 kills, 4 deaths. Very disappointing in my opinion. Rhyperior finishes 11-5, which is very strong out of a Trick Room offensive Pokemon. Togekiss is going to finish, is that real life? 5-15 for Togekiss? Wow. Togekiss finishes 5-15, but just picked up a kill, so we'll say 6-15 ish. 6-15. I'm doing this on the fly. A lot of deaths for Togekiss, but I use Togekiss primarily as a support Pokemon as opposed to more of an offensive threat. So I think that makes sense in the context of the team. You don't like seeing that out of your first pick though, I guess. Bronzong finishes 4-10, which is expected, had a couple big kills. Ninetales finishes 9-7. I don't think I got a kill in this game. So ends up 9-9, I think, because it died twice. Or, you know, something like that. So roughly 9-9. Sandslash finishes, it says 1-3, but got 2 KOs there. So Sandslash is going to finish up like 3-4, 3-5, somewhere around there. Which is very disappointing out of Sandslash, in my opinion. This is a Pokemon that I think on paper I really felt like was going to be super easy to utilize with Hail on this team, but it's become very difficult, if anything, to try to utilize it the way I wanted it to. But look for Sandslash to be a big part of our playoff push, because I do think this strategy of leading Ninetales Sandslash but not Dynamaxing can be really, really effective. I think I went into this game despite my very, very abrupt and brief preparation. I figured, you know what, if I can get a Veil and hit something with Sandslash, then I could probably win with Redum in the back. So that actually worked out really well. Drapion finishes 5-7, pretty disappointing in the sense that I think if Drapion hits, you know, 25% more crits, I feel like it's way better there. Rotom finishes 3-1, but picks up 2, 3, 4, 5 KOs. So it's gonna finish up 8 and let's say 2, 8 and 2-ish. No, 8 and 1. So Rotom finishes 8-1 after the free agent pickup, which is very, very good. That's incredible for only being brought to like 2 or 3 games, to being brought to 3 games, getting 8 KOs. Rotom Frost showing how effective it can be as a tier 3 pick, which I love to see. Serena finishes 4-0. I only brought it to 2 games. One of the games it steamrolled Poise. Didn't really do much otherwise. Hitmonchan came to a couple games, didn't really do a whole lot there. 1 and 2 it looks like. And then Big Turt taking the lead for the Vikavolts this season, finishing up 18-8. Turtonator with 18 KOs, 8 deaths under Trick Room, which actually, if you look at the statistics for the entire league, at this point in time, there's still some games to be played, but Turtonator's tied for number 6th in the league with the most KOs. And it's interesting looking at this top list here. It's only 3 behind the 2nd place, right? So, you know, 1 more decent game from Turtonator, and it could have been in 2nd place. Am I boring you, Togekiss? I apologize. So, when all is said and done, I feel like that's pretty impressive in its own. Turtonator being so incredible this season, dealing so much damage, being just a really, really good threat. And that's something I take a lot of pride in terms of my draft league abilities, is utilizing, getting the most out of my lower tier picks. I think we did that very nicely with Turtonator. So anyway, that win puts us in a very, very interesting scenario for playoffs. It's gonna put us at 6-4, which is going to guarantee that I have at least the 7th seed. I will not have the 8th seed now based on the other standings. So we will have the 7th seed. There's a chance that we will have the 6th seed, depending on how the last games shake out. We may have the 6th seed or the 7th seed. And what that means for us is it very much so likely means that I'm going to not play Wolf, but rather I'm most likely going to play... Ooh, it's going to be really close. I mean, I'm either going to play Wolf versus Network, Duncan, or Aaron Cybertron. Out of those, I think the person I want to play least is probably Aaron. And the only reason why I say that is because Aaron has really good speed control on the fast end. And he has Sand as well, Gigalith and Excadrill. And I don't want to face Sand with Hail. I think that puts me at a disadvantage. And Versus, I don't really know Versus team too well. I think this is a team that I criticized quite a bit initially. He's got Durant. That team's gonna be very difficult for me. Durant, Gothitelle, yeah, that team's very difficult for me. So I think, honestly, as funny as it might sound, I think actually if there was, and I may regret saying this, I think with no disrespect to the coach himself, I think I'd like to rematch Duncan for the first round of the playoffs, just because I feel like we had a really close game, and I actually feel like I have a good matchup against Duncan, despite the fact that we lost. So we'll have to see what happens, guys, but I've talked long enough at the end of this match. Again, GG's to Randolph. Thanks for the game. Big shouts to my friend Zoe for helping me train up our team this week. That was very nice of you again, Zoe. I've been training up my team for the first 8 weeks, but the last 2 weeks because of the move, I've just been so busy. So I trade my team to Zoe. She trains them up for me and then sends them back, which is very nice of her. So thank you, Zoe. And that's that, guys. Thank you so much for watching the final week of the WBE. I'm glad we could end on a positive note and get some W's moving forward to the playoffs. Finishing the season at 6-4. Overall, like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. For me, 7-3, 8-2 would have been a much better record, but we made the playoffs, and that's what matters the most. Now we set our sights towards whoever our playoff opponent is. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. If you guys enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out this one right here. Otherwise, this one's pretty awesome too. Check out one of my videos, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.